not joking. I'm not joking. Ouch! Ouch! My gut did not fit. Hey y'all. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I am TrevannaShantia for those of you who are new, and for all of my returning babies. Y'all already know what time it is. What's going on, y'all? I know you all were anxiously waiting for my labor and delivery story, and I know you guys were expecting to see a video with me probably screaming or breaking up those people's bed. But yeah, labor and delivery just did not go as planned, as hoped, or as expected. So today I am here to bring to you my labor and delivery experience, okay? So grab your popcorn, get your drinks, get whatever you need to do, and sit down and tune in, because y'all know when I get in front of this camera, I sit down and talk and I don't know when to shut up. So y'all bear with me, all right? Let's try to make this as quick as possible. So as y'all would have seen in the previous vlog, I went in for my 41-week appointment. I would have been 41 weeks the next day of my appointment. So I went in for my 41-week appointment. I was sent over to the hospital for administering again because one, my pressure was high, and two, I was long overdue. So anyhow, reached to the hospital as usual, checked in. They didn't know me by name, by face, by everything by heart, because that was obviously my second home from week 34, somewhere around there. Anyhow, went there, checked in, got everything sorted out. So hooked me up to the monitors, and my pressure was sky high. Yeah, they monitored me to see like if it would drop. It did drop, then it would rise again within less than 2 minutes, or was not. So it wasn't stable enough for them to discharge me to say go home, with my pressure being so high. So yeah, I was on pressure medicine to try and get my pressure back to normal. After maybe an hour or 2 hours of my pressure not being stable, they decided they were going to admit me into the hospital. And that's when the doctor on call that day was saying to me that they were going to have to start my induction. So technically my induction was scheduled for that Wednesday. I went into hospital that Monday, keep in mind. So my induction was scheduled for that Wednesday, and I was being optimistic and hopeful that when I would have had left the hospital on that Monday, I would have gone home, bounce on my ball, get my walking in, exercise and do what I needed to do to get this baby out so that I cannot be induced on Wednesday. I was hoping that, that baby would have come Monday night, Tuesday morning, whatever it was, from just natural labor, or was not, because I had already been 2 centimeters dilated the morning of when I went to the hospital. Anyhow, moving forward. So she came in and she was like, they are going to start my induction now, because where my pressure is so high, if my pressure stays this high and I do not try to deliver my baby sooner, I can end up having a stillbirth. So I was like, I really didn't want to be induced, but y'all already know we were not. Having a stillbirth was really not an option for us. So I agreed to, starting the induction process. So it was about 6 o'clock now. We started the induction. They came in and they gave me the jelly. I got the jelly at about 6:10, 6:15, around there. She said that it's 2 doses. It's a 2-dose stage, but it usually starts to work during the first dose. If it hadn't started to work on the first dose, then in 6 hours, they would have to come back in and give me a second dose. So at 6:15-ish, I got my first dose of jelly. I don't know what it's called, but it's the jelly. Keep in mind, on top of that, I was already on high blood pressure pills. So yeah, I had already been filled with plenty medication. When they came back within the 6 hours, I did not need to have a second dose of jelly because I was already 4 centimeters dilated. Yeah, so it was no need for me to get a second dose. Pitocin or oxytocin, whatever you want to call it. I had the jelly. I was on high blood pressure medicine. So that's 3 set of medicines that I know about offhand. Also, that was about 12 o'clock. So I pretty much slept for about, well, the first 10, 11 hours maybe. I, thugged it out as best as I possibly can with my pain and my contractions and what's not. So moving forward to about 4:45ish, around that time, I couldn't. Before that, maybe about 9:30ish, probably around there, I had asked for pain meds. I did not want to get into the epidural as yet because I needed to eat. I still hadn't eaten. The food was there, but I didn't have an appetite to eat, and I knew it was going to be much longer when I go on an epidural for me to eat. So I was trying to go as long as I could without getting an epidural, just for the sake of me needing to eat and was not. Also, I also was, like I said, hoping to walk into the hospital at 7 centimeters prior, 7 centimeters dilated from laboring at home. So yeah. Anyhow, after 9:30, I was not asked for pain meds. I was not, and they gave me my options. I was not. I told them that I'll take the thigh hip injection. So I opted for that. That pretty much knocked me out for about maybe 3-4 hours. I'm not sure. And keep this in mind now. So I took the thigh injection, which was another set of doses of medicine. I guess they had to hook it up to the bag as well, and all of these were also to keep me stable was injected into me through IVs. I was not. So this was another set of medication that I had. So at this time I started to swell up or was not from the medication. After that, like I said, I slept for about 3-4 hours, and then I really couldn't take it anymore. 4:40 something, I was like, hey, give me the epidural, please. Epidural me, please, right away. So then they were like, okay, we need to get the anesthesiologist to go and get so they can come in and bring the epidural and administer the epidural for you. And that took about 5 to 10 minutes of them getting the anesthesiologist. He would come in and they would introduce themselves, explain the procedure and everything to you offhand. So I got my first epidural at 4:45ish, 5 o'clock-ish. I was finished with my first, getting the epidural. I was finished at 5 o'clock. So I was able to sleep from then until about, my nurse that was on, Candace, whose name we all would see on the board, she came in for 7. So I was alert when she came in. I was not. I was up. She talked to me and she, introduced me to who she was. Then I went back to sleep. At about, I would say 8:30ish, I felt as though the epidural was wearing off, baby, because the contractions were licking me again. So I asked her if there was an option for me to get another dose, to up my dose of epidural. And she was like, yeah, of course. So that's what they did, and then they inserted a new bag, and then they give me this clicker to say, well, I can do it myself to up the dosage for the epidural in the event whenever I'm ready to, rather than calling a nurse. So when that was finished, I was up in that dose like nothing. So I'm just constantly swelling up at this point. She had requested for, they were doing their routine checks, and by the time she had came in, I was about 6 centimeters. Yes, I was about 6 centimeters at 7-8 o'clock. I was not, because she checked me maybe 45 minutes into her shift. She had checked me. Was not. So she was saying to me that I'm gonna have my baby before she leaves here today. So they worked 12-hour shifts. So she came in for 7. She would have gotten off at 7 o'clock that night, right? So she had requested that the doctor on call for that day would come and check me from 9 o'clock-ish. This is 9 o'clock in the morning. He came in about I'd say he came in about 12 o'clock. And he came in and he checked me, and I feel like this is where everything went downhill. Because yes, she was doing her part, but she can only do so much at the end of the day. All of the nurses can only do so much. So anyhow, the OB, he came in and he checked me for the first time, maybe at about 12 o'clock. So he checked me, and I was 6.5 centimeters, like she said. I was not. And then he had introduced me to who he was as well. So I'm still laboring now. I was not still on epidural, can't eat. I didn't have a chance to get a ball, a painted ball, a bounce ball. I didn't have a chance to get anything because where my labor progressed so fast, like because I was induced, I was in pain. I was pretty much hooked up on monitors from then. I wasn't able to walk around to get a ball or anything. So, and then I opted for the epidural early. So after he checked me, he said he would be back in about an hour or so to check me again. She kept like trying to get him to come and check me. Yeah, I understand that he was busy. He was the only doctor on that day, and like people were having babies back to back. I understand that at the end of the day, I still was human, and I felt as though I was the only one, maybe because I felt as though I was the only one who hadn't been checked on periodically from him that entire day. So everybody else who I can, like I said, I can hear what's going on from the four walls. I was not, because we were like in a full circle. So I could hear, and I can hear when he is next door to me and he's across the hall from me, but he just never came into my room after the first time he came in. I was not. So 4 o'clock again, she went looking for him every hour on the hour. She was looking for him, and he would keep saying that he's coming. He never came. 4 o'clock went by, 6 o'clock went by, he still hasn't came. Almost time for her to get off, and she was like, you're like 7, she said, you're at 7, I think you're at 7.5 centimeters now. So she had gotten her, the next nurse who was in the next room from me, she had gotten her to double check to make sure, like to do a cervical check on me, and she also agreed that I was 7.5 centimeters. So she was telling me that, hopefully he can come in. She was still trying to get him before she left and trying to get me as comfortable as possible. Only thing I was saying is, Lord, I want nanny. I did not I want nanny that. And then it was like, you can try to go stool if you feel like you need to go stool. But she told me that, but she was like, more than likely that's the baby, pushing down on you, making you feel like you want a nanny. Anyhow, 7 o'clock came. It was time for her to go. She stayed like about 7:30 to make sure that I was good. Still trying to get the doctor into the room to come and check me. He still hadn't came. The next nurse came on now, whoever she was, I don't remember her name, honestly. She came on. She picked up where Candace had left off, and she was trying to get him to come in and check me. So within those from 7 a.m. in the morning till about 7 p.m., that 12-hour mark, I had it up to the epidural. I kept asking them for boosters of my epidural because, baby, the pain was licking me. So I didn't even realize like I was so swollen, and I could only assume that it was the epidural that had me so swollen. But nonetheless, the second shift nurse came in, and she finally, it's 9:30 now, 9:30 something now, and that's when I probably beating on them people bed and telling them that, y'all need to come and check me because this scene that I want nanny. I feel like I want nanny. That's all I was saying. I want nanny. So they finally get him into the room. He came in and he checked me. As he is checking me, right, he, like I can tell you, it was so busy and people were having baby back to back to back. He inserted his fingers into my vagina, and another lady down the hall the baby probably was shooting out. So the nurses were screaming. They said, "Doctor, we need you, this baby's coming." So he yucks his hand out of my vagina and goes running to deliver that baby, which is fine. It's okay because, these babies needs to be delivered at the end of the day. Then he comes back about 30 minutes later, This is about 10 o'clock now. I'm alert now. He comes back about 30 minutes later and he tries to give me a cervical again. At this point, I'm 9 centimeters. Okay. First thing he says, oh, this baby isn't being delivered vaginal today. This baby head is too big. This baby isn't being vaginal delivered. He said this baby isn't being delivered vaginal today. This baby head is too big. Oh, but she has a full head of head. So at this point, like, I'm like, you mean to tell me I ain't a labor? Almost 30 hours into this game for you to finally come and check me and tell me that this baby isn't being delivered vaginally today. At this point, it's okay because I was mad, but I felt as though if he had came in when he was supposed to come in from 12 o'clock, from 1 o'clock, or was not, he would have seen my progress and he would have seen that the medication had me swollen and had my baby swelling up or was not. My head was too big to be delivered vaginally. Anyhow, moving forwardly now, he tells me that I'm going to have to do a C-section. So I was like, okay, well, let's get the ball game rolling. And he's like, but that's going to be in another 30 to 45 minutes. And I'm like, no, I can't wait that long. I need to nanny and I need this baby to come out right now. Like, I can't wait. I was not. So he was like, yeah, but we have to get paperwork and yada, yada, yada. So I was like, okay, no problem. But I need the paperwork to come in rapidly. I was not. So, whilst they were getting the paperwork, I told them I need another dose of epidural. Boost me up, please. I need it because I wasn't going to make it another 30, 45, maybe 2 hours because he has a history of not coming into my room for 12 hours or more, whatever, for a certain amount of hours. So I was like, okay, I need an extra boost of epidural. And that was what y'all saw in the last thing when I was like, well, I was sitting on the cord, I was not yada, yada, yada. I ain't all that talking. Just come and give me the epidural. I need it, understand? Anyhow, getting to the good part now. They finally come back and, got me dressed for Operation Run. I had signed on my papers and everything first. And then they came and they, dressed me and they got me ready to get rolled into the operating room. And they gave Ethan his gown and everything and told him that, get dressed. And as soon as they get me in, they'll come back and walk him in. So he's dressed, I was not. And I'm on the table, I'm already, like, I'm shaking uncontrollably. I mean, on that table like this, like, shaking, like I'm shivering, I'm shaking, I'm dosed up on medication where I don't even know what it is, what they give to me. I can tell you, I look like a cow, doing too much, like everything was just, and I was extremely cold, I was freezing. So, the road wasn't too far, it didn't feel as though it was too far, it felt like maybe 2 minutes walk or whatever. But I didn't walk, but 2 minutes drive, road, whatever you want to call it, I was in the bed, whatever. And yeah, so, as we enter the operating room, it could be my nerves getting on me more, and I just started I was having Tourette's. I was in the bed and I was shaking, trembling, like I was, jumping and twitching and doing everything, like I was freezing cold. And I was asking them, I said, is this normal? Me shivering and, reacting like this, is this normal? I was not. It was like, yeah, it's normal. You're probably shivering because you're nervous. I was not. This is expected. This happens after someone has been told they have to get an emergency C-section. So, right. So I trying to calm down from shaking, but I still shaking. I cold and was not. And as they are trying to, I guess, sedate me, give me whatever is needed, the epidural, another booster epidural, so that I won't feel the pain. I feel as though I felt them, making incisions. First they rub like this pad, I don't know what is it, they do this alcohol thing, and they rub it on your stomach area. So as they was rubbing it, I don't feel it, so I was supposed to feel it. As they were rubbing whatever they were rubbing, the alcohol pad, whatever, on your stomach, I felt it. So I felt it burning and I was like, am I supposed to feel this? And they were like, no. So I was like, okay, I can feel it, Like they probably think that I was too much high up on medication, on drugs. They probably think I was too high on drugs to say, or I probably was just talking out of my head, or probably because like every time I keep saying I want nanny, they must have took it as a joke with me reacting, how I was reacting back in my delivery room. I don't know. And then again, it was a bunch, it was maybe 2 or 3 students. And where I went wrong when my delivery process was going so smooth and my nurses them were so great, when Ethan came with my bag, I never gave them my birth plan. I never gave them my birth plan because I was sleeping, I was on drugs. It slipped my mind. It just, so the birth plan is actually still in my bag to this date. Anyhow, and I felt as though that's where I went wrong, because on my birth plan, I do have no students. I don't want any students operating on me. And that's where I went wrong. However, I felt as though they were kiki in too much and they were being friends too much with the students. So it was, like I said, I blaming myself honestly for the most part for me reacting, telling them I can feel like I'm not sedated enough to be cut open. I can feel everything that's going on. And I was telling them that, and I blame it on me because I said maybe because I had too much epidural, too much boosters of the epidural, this wasn't working. You understand? This wasn't working for me. I wasn't numb. So so they rubbed the padding on my belly and my stomach started to burn. I can feel the burning sensation on my stomach. So I said to them, I said, am I supposed to feel this burning sensation? And it was like, no. And then he was like, I said, I can feel it. So he's like, describe to me what you're feeling. This is the anesthesiologist that I'm talking to now. The anesthesiologist is over my head, and the doctor and the student nurses, doctors, whatever. It was about 3 or 4 of them down to my feet. I was not. So also, he was telling me to explain what I felt, and I started to tell him what I felt. I said, I feel it burning wherever you rub the pad. And I said, and I look up. This is before they had put the cape over me, and I tried to look up and I could see like the redness, and I started scratching. So it probably was my skin reacting to whatever they used. It could be that. It could also be me too high up on drugs. So I felt them start cutting. I was like, no. I just, no, ouch, that hurt. And then they must have thought I was joking because they started to laugh. And I'm like, no, I'm not joking, ouch, I could feel it. Because they kept cutting, and I was like, ouch. So I just started screaming, ouch. And I was actually saying, where's my husband? He's supposed to be here. Why isn't he here? Oh, it's not. And then it was like, we're going to have to sedate you. Oh, it's not, because obviously something. And I just was screaming, ouch. And I was like, where's my husband? I on the bed, shaking for my life. And I almost fall off the bed and all and everything. And I don't know, I guess they had to strap me down at this point, do something to me, because all I know is I go on, after I kept on asking for my husband and screaming out, I just black out. And then when I wake up, ooh, Tiffany, what you doing, girl? What you doing here? Tiffany, you better stay in. Anyhow, so that was the last thing I can recall with me screaming, and then asking him, where's my husband? And then there goes by, before I blacked out, all I heard is, everybody stop! And that was what the doctor was telling everybody. But then again, if you were supposed to be the one doing the surgery, doing my cut, whatever, and the students were supposed to be watching you, why does everybody need to stop? You see where I'm coming from? That was the number one thing. That really messed me up. And then on top of that, y'all was only supposed to roll me in to the operation room and come right back for Ethan. Y'all roll me in, start to put me to sleep, start to do everything, start to numb my body without Ethan being there. So it seems to me as though y'all ever had plans to not allow Ethan to be in that operation room when y'all was going to deliver my baby. Honestly and truly, whatever they did, they put me to sleep. My baby came out screaming. I know, because the nurse was gracious enough to, ask Ethan from my phone. Ethan said she came back in the room maybe 5 minutes after I had left, and told him that they had to put me to sleep, and because they had to put me to sleep, they don't allow the spouse in the operation room once somebody is being put to sleep. I feel as though that's even a more reason for people to be allowed in the operation room. I don't really know how it is worked, but I just feel as though the whole process they had their own intentions from the beginning. Like I said, honestly and truly, this has scarred me. Physically, I'm okay. Mentally and emotionally, I'm still trying to process it all to this day. So I have my days. I do have my days. I'm not even gonna lie and tell you like, oh, I'm Gucci, I'm good. Like, I have my days out to this day. I'm 2 months in now, going on 3 months, and I still break down when I sit and think about it. Oh, it's not. And this is the first time I've actually sat and told this whole story. Like, I tried to tell it to my sister. I tried to tell her the eating, but I'd break down for every time. So I needed to heal a lot mentally in order to get this out. And obviously I have healed. I'm still progressing, you know, but it was traumatizing. And I love my baby and everything, and I'll do the world for her. But this one auntie, y'all not finna see pregnant again. Okay, I can tell y'all that. I don't care. This one auntie, me, Auntie T, I ain't going back. I can tell you that. But nonetheless, yeah, that was pretty much a rundown of how my whole labor and delivery story went. You know, it was traumatizing. It was my whole laboring wasn't bad. It was just the whole me feeling every incision that was placed on my body. That was traumatizing and very, you know, it breaks me down. But I am honored. I am grateful to God for allowing me to, you know, come out alive and just allowing me to be well and able to take care, to be here to birth my child and to be able to be her mother. When I came out of that delivery room, baby, I came with that operating room singing, oh, 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 my God did not fail. That's my story, my testimony, oh, 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 the story I tell. I just cried and sing that same song, as well as all my life you have been faithful. I came with everyone singing and crying. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God, y'all. And yeah, honestly, you know, it was a traumatizing experience for me. I didn't want to speak to nobody. I just wasn't there when I came out of the hospital. Oh, and the thing about it is, after the situation had happened, the doctor, I felt as though the doctor was avoiding me. He was on again. I think I was having a heart attack, you know. And after I had came out and I had waken up, I was not. Like, the nurse would call for him again, and he sent them and tell them to what to do. Lord, I thank you. I just could laugh now because when I think about it, I really didn't understand what was going on. But yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. It wasn't, the laboring process wasn't bad. It was very beautiful. Every nurse I had was, you know, chef's kiss, but boy, I'm ready to blast you. I don't even know your name. I'm ready to put you on blast. But you know what? To God be all the glory, great things he has done. I was honestly going to like look into find out information if, like, you know, taking it legally actions. But I prayed about it for a good while. You know, God said be still and let him do what is needed to be done. I have healed up. Like I said, I've healed up really good, but physically I'm okay. Mentally, emotionally, I still have my days. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But when I look at that little girl in that little girl face, like that girl has bring me joy. Okay, so I guess, you know, it was all worth it for her. Every pain, every incision, every needle, everything that I experienced during those 28 hours of laboring was all worth it. So yeah, this is the end of the video. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for sticking it out to the end. But before we leave this video, don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe. Text a friend, call a friend, tell a friend, tell them to tune in. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Love you guys. Peace out. Yeah, guys, I know I pack up and say I gone, but listen to me. I just come here to tell you all. So when I tell y'all, or when I tell y'all I'm posting my child, or don't post my child, or this and that my child, when it comes to her, don't ask me no if and ands about, because y'all already know when I nearly died on that table, y'all wasn't there. So y'all ain't gonna tell me nothing but my child. Alright? Eating and all together when it comes to her. So y'all don't cross the line. Alright? Don't cross the line when it comes to that one. No sense. But yeah, guys, I can see y'all later. Alright, bye.